Hello, my name is Elijah Burwell, and this is my XYZ Company project presentation. To start, I'll start with Active Directory, which I set up Active Directory role on both DC1 and DC2 servers. After installing Active Directory, I utilized the tool Users and Computer Management to begin the project. Within User and Group Management, I set up users and groups based off the department that they are from, using OUs, which is pretty much everything for this. Same with organizing the servers into two categories, Appleton and Phoenix, although I left the DC1 and DC2 in a separate folder called Domain Controllers. I further organized the workstations to match their users and departments using OUs. So we have a computers group as well as a users group. For group policy, I created a standard GPO across the board. I utilized a GPO to establish WSUS on the network environment, and I used a GPO to ensure printer access. On printers, I set up two virtual printers, one for Appleton and Phoenix, and I made sure Appleton users and Phoenix users didn't see that are only using the printers designated to their location. DNS ensures that I ensured that all servers and workstations manually were using the DNS address set for the main DC1 DNS server. I installed the DNS role on both DC1 and DC2, but made the DC1 primary. For DHCP, I installed the DHCP role on the hybrid DHCP was a server that we set up, and I set up an appropriate scope of 10.7.67.024. I authorized the DHCP with Active Directory. After that, I set up file security storage configurations by creating a shared folder across the network environment, creating subfolders that included each department. I set up a file and print server to have the file server role, and I applied the principle of least privilege. For profiles, I did set up the roaming profiles for users A, B, and C, and the setup folder to redirection to the user data folder next to shared, and I did test that successfully with the ITD user. For WSUS, I set up the WSUS role in the DHCP server, and I created a GPO to deploy the WSUS operation. I ensured all computers were set to automatic updates, as well as making sure all the computers were updated. And then I set up our Exchange server, and installed that role, or not role, it's a program, a little different, on the appropriate server. And I created email accounts for every single user outlined in the XYZ Company overview. And then finally, for our application delivery, we used Citrix, which was a set of 4 virtual machines, which I successfully tested and deployed, starting with the site server where the main setup began and the site creation occurred, the VDA server, which registers with the delivery server itself, which publishes the application, and then the storefront server, which I configured to access the storefront web page and access applications. And that completes my project presentation. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.